So during the last couple of weeks, I'm positive, which you men are all aware of, the Bitcoin versus XRP nonsense. I did make a video in advance these days concerning the complete Bitcoin versus XRP form of, you understand, dialogue it truly is going around. I need you guys to recognize what is sincerely occurring on this space due to the fact I experience as though we're losing so much time, a lot of energy, and numerous a lot of these conversations lead us nowhere. It's simply the identical from side to side, all right? XRPs that Bitcoin's this, you realize I need us to all awareness on the statistics here. I need us to simply awareness on what is occurring, regardless of if we adore Bitcoin or now not. It's very clear that application is the focus proper now. I do think that this whole XRP as opposed to Bitcoin idea, and I assume that all of the communicate about Bitcoin is just one huge distraction from what honestly does depend. Now, in this video, I simply need to cope with what's happening right now inside the EU. In reality, the ECB, they have formally confirmed what is approximately to occur. Welcome to the channel, all of us. My name is Nick. For those which are new to the channel, with any luck, by way of the quit of this video, you do emerge as a subscriber. And additionally, if you men aren't conscious, yes, Caleb and Brown, one of the first-rate exchanges out there. Guys, cross-sign on, try this alternate out. 24/7 customer support, best alternate for us based totally buyers, and bet what? Fully regulated, completely regulated trade. Try it out. If you do not like it, prevent the usage of it. If you men find it irresistible, what's up? Maybe it turns into your new favorite exchange. I have a hyperlink down within the description underneath. Check them out. I have been using them for a bit of time now, and I have been liking what I am seeing. So hi there, perhaps it will be one among your new favorite exchanges. Now, with that being said, let's talk about what's taking place inside the EU. Number one, we retain to look principal delistings of Tether. Now, Kraken was one alternate. If we move all the way, return to love May of 2024, Kraken become and change that became discussing the possibility of delisting Tether and different strong cash definitely in the EEA area, and that is through the 31st of March. Now, what is loopy approximately? That is, like I stated, we have been targeted on this for a little bit of time, and we failed to suppose it was going to occur due to the fact, again, like I stated, Kraken turned into one of the first essential exchanges to start form of tossing this idea around, like, you understand, what are we going to do? We recognize Mika is coming into region. And now we have confirmation that they may be going to be delisting Tether and extra stable coins. I believe that PayPal stablecoin become additionally one which was included in that by March 31st. This is very vast. And I want you men to apprehend that. You realize Tether is a big player at the back of Bitcoin. Most humans don't want to admit it. The Bitcoin has been inflated by using Tether. Don't take my word for it. You ought to do some bit of research and find this out for yourselves. Tether remains no longer obvious on their monetary backing. Crypto. Com is likewise delisting Tether inside the EU. This turned into on the 29th. This were given introduced on the 31st. So we're seeing all of these fundamental exchanges delisting Tether in the EU location. Now that is due to the Mika guidelines. I question what will manifest with US stablecoin regulations, because they may be on their way. We know that they are on their manner, but out of doors of this, we just saw the XRP RLUSD AMM. This pool just went live. And if we take a look at it, we could see that there's $1.1 million in liquidity. We may also see that there may be over nearly $1 million in 24-hour trading extent, about 2.3K transactions, about 1.3K swaps, and 805 participants. Very interesting stuff. Now, this is simply to start manifestly. I was centered at the quantity around the stable coin. This has been surging currently. We're at about almost $14 million. It might not be as giant to some human beings obtainable in terms of this quantity, but I do assume that this is a super begin. Now, in terms of the traders, this has additionally been growing, and additionally the holders have also been increasing. Almost 10,000 holders, approximately kind of 1,000 traders. But I do suppose that RLUSD is about to boom significantly. Now, lots of human beings will say, nicely, isn't all of these delistings for USDT technically excellent for RLUSD? No, because remember that RLUSD, even though it is technically Mika compliant, we are nevertheless searching at Euro stablecoins. Now, I do suppose that yes, it is technically useful for RLUSD, but I'm looking at this, which is Societe Generale's sponsored Years 5 stablecoin. Mind you, that is going to be rolled out this 12 months on the XRP ledger. And it is already on Ethereum and Solana. However, I do assume that at the XRP ledger, it will grow appreciably due to the fact Societe Generale does have a partnership with Ripple with their custody service. Now, this was given introduced back in November. However, like I stated, it is going live this year. What an excellent time. To have this pass stay at the same actual time that Tether, the most important solid coin available, is being delisted from this market. Interesting. Now, like I said, the complete Bitcoin versus XRP communique has ended up very traumatic. Let's simply be honest here. Zero value coming from it. But we've got to speak approximately a few things. Number one, we've over here. Now, this is from the Ditcho asset investor. He's nevertheless announcing lock-in Bitcoin Maxis. It's time for the Stellar Organ Ripple display. Yajaturn and most equals suck anyhow. Now, once more, I'm not going to come out Bitcoiners or Ethereum axes or something like that. But I will say this, and Handy is going to mention it once in this video. The attention is in Bitcoin, its utility. Focus on application. Check this out. 1 second, I need to restart the video. If you think about what this is, it's just a simple era. What this generation does is it has a supply of reality. It has capability to execute smart contracts. So things that we have written into a document, any individual's got to go take a look at and go settle and do this, and which could get programmed in, and it has a way to pay. That absolutely is a huge chance to large financial establishments who act as those roles. And so what you have is a lot of sort of the conventional, you have a few conventional corporations who are simply looking to parent out how to leverage the era to do what they do today. I'll come up with an example. DTCC settles transaction securities. They're running on just using blockchain because the supply of reality in settlement, they need to be thinking about atomic settlements where the instant the change happens, the dollars, the clever contract executes and the greenbacks transact, because it really is sincerely what's going to manifest. And then I suppose you have establishments, and I think with a bit of luck, that is what we're doing at Franklin Temple, is we are trying to sit down there and say, okay, with this era, imagine where you do have atomic agreement on transactions in which you do not need to validate. Oftentimes a financial institution is in between to validate the two events. I recognize that when I trade with JP Morgan, that they're ensuring that whoever's on the alternative aspect is going to pay me, their status in for that. If it settles mechanically, you don't want that validation. So you have got parties who are they're considering what does atomic settlement suggest to my enterprise version. In our case, we constructed on the Stellar blockchain our cash market fund, wherein we've got the document keeping and we're the best ones who are in reality strolling a public transactions on blockchain. There's others shadowing it. We're genuinely settling them on the chain. And so over time, as you can begin to have human beings making payments, leveraging this yield coin, then it may be you preserve it for 5 hours. Shouldn't you get 5 hours worth of yield? Now, on pinnacle of this, I'm most effective going to play this little part of this video that I published.